Hello fellow stackers, 365 here, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we're going to discuss inflation. Now I've got some really cool pieces of history to show you. I've actually got some silver certificates. Now for those of you that haven't heard of silver certificates, this is what they look like. They look very similar to a standard US $1 bill, especially if you look at this side. But if you look closely, you can see that at the top here it says silver certificate, and just below where it says $1 it says in silver, payable to the bearer on demand. Now let me tell you a little bit of history about these silver certificates, because I'm guessing there's many people on this channel that are watching today's video that haven't heard of these, and it's a really cool, interesting story behind these. And also it really shows you how much spending power can be lost if you hold your cash in the bank in fiat form as opposed to investing into things that are going to beat inflation. Now, like I've said many times on this channel, I'm not a financial advisor, so please do always make your own investment decisions and do your own research before putting your fiat currency into anything. But let's get straight into the video. Now I've actually got a few notes to read out today because I wanted to kind of educate you on what these are, and I think it's a very interesting backstory on these. Now, what is a silver certificate? A silver certificate is a type of legal tender in the form of paper currency that was issued by the US government in 1878. Silver certificates were created to allow an investor to buy silver without having to take physical possession of the commodity. They represent the amount of silver bullion purchased by an investor and were deemed payable to the bearer upon demand. So you can actually walk into a bank, an investment bank where you purchase these from, and you could actually swap these over for physical silver. So you can see that these are all $1 each. I've actually got 10 of them in total here. And back when these were issued, silver was sitting around $1.30 an ounce. So just over $1 an ounce, that's how much silver was back then. So back then, if I was to go to the bank with these 10 $1 silver certificates, I could trade them in for roughly 7 ounces of silver. It works out around about 7.69 ounces of silver, so just under 8 ounces of physical silver. So let's get a little visual for you on the screen. Let's just count out 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can see these are American Silver Eagles. These are 1 ounce bullion coins, 3/9 fine solid silver. And this was how much I could exchange these 10 $1 silver certificates for back in 1964. Now, these were actually phased out in 1964, so they're only available between 1878 and 1964. So now these would only be able to be exchanged at a bank for their actual face value, which is $1. Now, if you would have kept hold of these for all this time, like I said, these are only worth $1 each. Now they're only worth their face value. But if you was to exchange these back to the bank and get your physical silver, your 7 ounces of physical silver, roughly with today's prices, that would equal roughly round about $168. So you can see that your $10, which works out to be around about £7.75 in pound sterling, would be $168, which works out to be around about £130 in pound sterling. So you can really see the power of inflation and why it is so important to convert your fiat currency into a commodity or to something that is going to beat the inflation rate. So I hope you found that interesting. Just to look on a little bit of a history lesson there. And I haven't seen these on many people's channels, and I think they're really cool. They're really interesting. You can see this one that says 1935 on it. So these are actually very collectible now. If you see these for a good price, they are worth picking up in my opinion, because they do tell a story, and like I said, they're very collectible. But I think again it goes to show you how interesting it is and how things were so different. Back then when there was a gold standard and your fiat currency was actually pegged to something tangible, and you can see that when we moved away from being pegged to a gold standard and having your fiat currency backed by a physical asset, you can really see the damage that inflation does to your buying power. $168 worth of silver here, which is £130, compared to $10 if you was to keep it in fiat currency. So let me know your thoughts on that. I've also got a gold certificate here to show you. Very, very similar concept. The only difference is this is obviously exchangeable for gold. So you can see that this one's $10 in gold coin, payable to the bearer on demand. So really, really cool piece of history. So it's gold certificate again at the top there. And I've also got a little bit of information written down here about the gold certificate. So a gold certificate was issued in the US from 1879. The US issued gold certificates that were identical in face value to their dollar denominations from 1879 until 1934, when the country abandoned the gold standard. So you can see these ran right up until 1934, which is when the fiat currency was unpegged from the gold standard, and that is when inflation really, really took hold and fiat currency started going down to basically worthless bits of paper instead of actually being worth something and being backed by something. So really, really cool, really, really interesting piece of history. Let me know in the comment section if you've seen silver certificates or gold certificates before. Let me know if that makes sense to you, why it's so important to convert your fiat currency into physical assets to beat inflation and protect your spending power. I'll also leave a couple of links in today's video description to the sources of the information that I got for these videos, so you can actually read through a little bit more history about these two pieces. As always, thanks very much for watching my videos. Thank you very much for all the support, and I hope you have a very nice day.